Welcome to Social Studies Made Easy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this week we will be exploring the causes and the consequences of migration. Yes, we are ready, and we are going to have a bombshell time. As stated earlier, migration speaks to the movement of people from one area to another in order to settle. But it's always interesting to know that people just keep moving and moving and moving. They sometimes move from the rural areas to settle in the urban areas, or from urban areas to settle in the rural areas. Sometimes they do this on a temporary basis or on a permanent basis. However, all this movement is accredited to something. There are certain factors that compels persons to move. Those factors that influence people to move are classified under two headings. They are either pull factors or push factors. So we are going to be exploring these two concepts and their attributes. Alright, so let's roll together. Look at it like this. The push factors plus the pull factors equals to factors affecting migration. Just a simple formula I craft for your understanding. Look at it. Enjoy it in your books. Let us explore the push factors. Now, there are certain conditions existing in one's environment, and those conditions, as long as they're encouraging improvement in standard of living or upward mobility, that are those conditions, and I want you to understand. If they are not encouraging these things, then you're going to find that they're going to be converted to or be regarded as some push factors. Because if there are conditions that are forcing people out of a particular area, then they must be regarded as push factors. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what are some of these conditions in an environment that do not encourage improvement or standard of living or upward mobility? What are those conditions that you would regard as negative factors? What are they? Yes, lack of technology, lack of job opportunities, limited educational or recreational facilities, low wages, lack of basic infrastructure, and we speak about houses, roads, water supply, electricity, and also political instability, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things that push people, force people. They are the conditions that force people to leave a particular area. Having explored the push factors, let us look at the pull factors. And what does this refers to? The conditions and opportunity in a country or in an area that proves attractive. And those conditions are what pulls someone, are the factors that attracts someone to a particular area. What are those attractive factors? Those includes technological advancement or improvement, availability of jobs, abundance of social and cultural amenities, high wages, proper infrastructure, and yes, we are talking about good roads, telephone, internet, electricity, supply, cable, housing, etc. Low levels of crime, and of course, greater educational opportunities. These are pull factors, the things that attracts others to a particular area. But as we speak of migration, we need to bear in mind that there are two categories and two types. We have what is called international migration, and we have what is called internal migration. International migrations, this occurs when people leave one country or state to settle in another, while internal migration is speaking to where people move from one residence within a country to another residence within the same country. But before we move on, we need to explore international migration a little bit. There are certain terms that really comes out as it relates to international migration, and these are important. You need to know them for examination purpose as well. And these terms are immigration, immigration and net migration. Immigration refers to the movement of out of a country. Immigration refers to the movement into a country, and net migration refers to the difference between the number of immigrants and emigrants in a country in a particular year. So you need to be able to make the distinction between all three terms. Now, net migration. It's very much important that you understand this because, believe it or not, you need to be able to calculate the net migration of a particular country. Now, in a country where there are more immigrants than immigrants, the net migration will be described as being positive. In contrast, however, if a country has more people leaving than those coming in the country, then the net migration of the country will be negative. How do you calculate the net migration? It is immigrants minus or subtract emigrants will equal to net migration. Let us work this question together. In St. Vincent, 3,500 persons enter the country to settle, and 2,200 of the residents migrated to settle in the neighboring country of St. Lucia. Calculate the net migration and state whether or not it is positive or negative. So here I helped you. So immigrants, 3,500 minus the emigrants, 2,200, which will give you, right, 1,300. And that is the net migration. And so St. Vincent is experiencing a positive net migration, which suggests that the country's population is increasing. Let us try this example number 2. It was reported that a whopping 12,000 persons emigrated from Anguilla to settle in Trinidad and Tobago during the course of last year. During that same year, the country of Anguilla accommodated 7,200 persons who came to settle. Calculate the net migration. And how would you do that? Fill in the empty box. So it is 7,200, which equates to what? The persons who came into Anguilla minus how much? Fill it in. Right. It would be 12,000 persons because those are the persons leaving. And it will equal to, right, negative 4,800. So what can we say about the net migration of this country? It is clear. Yes, you are right. The net migration is negative, which is an indication that the population is decreasing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that was social studies made easy. You are the architect of your own destiny. Remember, when God is by your side, you can smile at any storm. And once again, as usual, I say, peace out. God bless you. Have a good day.